everybody. Welcome back to Spirit Hunters Paranormal 911. My name is Tim. This little video I'm doing today is not of any investigations that we've done or are doing. It's more of just a kind of an informational type of video of things I've seen, heard, read, or observed that I want to kind of talk about a little bit, because there's a lot of controversy over beliefs and what people see or how they're taking from watching the videos or reading some of the stories, and I want to kind of touch base on that. Now, my grandson, he is in the other room watching a movie, so hopefully that won't come through during this little video that I'm doing, but if it does, I apologize. Keeps him entertained. Now, I have had a couple questions that were asked to me here just most recently. I want to kind of touch base on. I've had people ask me where I was able to take a course on demonology. The way I said it, it probably was interpreted that way. I apologize. The truth is, there are no courses out there that you can take for demonology. The only thing that qualifies you in that field is a lot of research, being able to communicate with professors that are knowledgeable in it, other people that have dealt with it, priests that have knowledge about it. You know, a lot of that is just, like I say, research. You learn different situations, different techniques, how to perform your investigation, how to handle your investigation. So, I mean, there's really no right way or wrong way. Just because you come across a situation and that's how it was handled and it worked out just great, you can still have the same situation and it go terribly wrong. I believe, in my opinion, is it depends on the entity or spirit that you're dealing with. A lot of people say in demonology or working with demons that's a bad energy or a bad spirit. Automatically they say, well, it's a demon. Not true. I mean, I can't say that it's not a demon. That's something that you really got to dig into a lot deeper to determine on what you're dealing with, what type of entity you're dealing with. Because just because you're getting a negative energy or bad things that happen around you, it very well could be just a spirit or entity that had a bad life, or he was bad in his past. You know, so that's the way he is in the afterlife. Kind of like a bully or somebody that does bad things. So, I mean, when we investigate, we do kind of a procedure step, trying to gather the knowledge, all the knowledge or information we can gather before we can more or less you know, understand what we're dealing with. We need to know what we're dealing with. Try to find out, you know, why they're there, why they're doing what they're doing. That way, you know, you gather all that information, then you know how to handle the situation or which path, you know, to further go on, to either make it stop, get rid of it, or be able to deal with it. I just wanted to clear that up, because it's like anyone that's out there that's in the paranormal field, excuse me. We can't say that we know it all, because we don't. I don't know of anybody that's actually, I guess, top quality that knows everything about it. Nobody really knows everything about the paranormal field. It's something we learn as we go. We learn from all the training or studying that we do. We learn from the experiences we have. We learn from experience other paranormal investigators have had. Excuse me. You know, it's just, you know, it's something that as we go, we learn. So keep that in mind. Just because somebody says they're a professional at uh, dealing with paranormals, I don't believe there are any professionals out there. If they are, I'd sure like to know how they became one. Now, a lot of videos or photos that you see online or have seen, um, you know, they're kind of controversial with a lot of people, because there are a lot of skeptics out there, a lot of non-believers that automatically, you know, they're going to say it's fake, or it was manipulated, or staged, or acted. Uh, I can't say that there aren't a lot out there that do that for the recognition, but there are those out there that actually do capture um, evidence, documented evidence of things that actually do happen. Now, there are, like I say, there are a lot of paranormal teams out there that do a lot of these videos and take these pictures. To me, a lot of them are in it uh, pretty much, you know, to show what they're actually is happening to them, uh, or to try to, I guess, scare you in a way. But there are others like myself are in more for the knowledge, you know, being able to learn, understand, being able to relate the information or give the information to people that are out there that have no idea what's going on in situations that they are having. You know, we're in it more for that, the knowledge, to learn, try to understand, to see if we can come up with logical reasons to prove on whether it is real or not real. And I'm noticing here lately, I've just joined some of these paranormal groups on the medias. Uh, just going through some of them, you know, there's people that they are kind of investigators or beginners that capture something, or they believe they caught something. I can't say they did or didn't. Really don't know. It's hard to tell from a video or a photo. A lot of it looks like it could be real, but you know, a lot of it looks like it could be staged in some way. You really don't know unless you're actually there to see it firsthand. You're just going by what they're saying, what they're showing you, and you're pretty much having to use your own opinion, your own thoughts, your own ideas. It helps if you have been in the paranormal field. Uh, it helps you a little bit better to be able to look at and determine on, you know, what could be real, what is not real. But you know, more, like I say, more or less, it's our opinions of what we see or what we believe. Some of the stories that people have out there is, you know, you see that is something that has happened to them in the past, or something that is happening to them at this time, and they're just reaching out to us with these stories because they don't know who to talk to, where to go, and they're pretty much asking for advice, our opinions, our help if we can, being able to understand what's going on. If we can help them out in any way, we do that. You know, because I hate to see a family that is having some kind of energy, whether it's positive or negative, that's affecting the family or a child in the family. And if you're not, if you've never been around it and have it happen to you, it can get to be a scary thing, because you don't know whether it is something good or something that's there to harm you. You know, you're real curious. You're trying to find answers. And that's why they get on these group sessions, trying to find answers, where they need to turn, who they need to talk to get the help. But a lot of the answers, that I read, they're different. I mean, they're pretty much similar, but there are a lot of different ways they were handled, or ways they would handle it. I can't say that they're right or wrong. There's just so many different opinions, which I kind of like that in a way, because myself, I could say I don't know everything. I've been in the paranormal field all my life, ever since I was a child, being able to see and speak with spirits. I've done a lot of learning through either online courses, college courses, communicating with other people that have been doing spirit, paranormal, or entity, demon, any field uh, that relates on this line. Gaining knowledge. I learn something new all the time. Uh, and these different opinions, they help me, because it's like you're kind of looking outside the box. Something you may have not even thought about or even considered. But it opens your mind to where, you kind of mauled around in your head that, okay, well, that situation, it possibly could work also. So you're really learning as you go. Now, a lot of these, like I say, a lot of these videos and photos that I'm seeing and the stories that I'm reading, the opinions everybody's giving, just because that situation's happened to that person, and you may be familiar with something similar in that situation, so you're giving them your opinion, your advice. It could be right in that situation, but it could also be wrong in that situation. You really don't know. It depends on the entity or the spirit that you are dealing with. Um, because just because the situation is the same, the circumstances could be totally different. So what advice you're giving, if they try that, it may work or it could backfire. So, I kind of suggest to the viewers or anybody that has had that situation, don't go by one opinion. Research a little bit more on other opinions, other investigators, situations they've gone through. It can help you understand a little more, and better you in the knowledge of what you possibly could be dealing with, and can possibly help you in deciding what course to take to help you in your situation. Like I say, I've done a lot of investigations, a lot of research. I've been in a lot of situations, and some of the situations I've done, I've handled in one way, and I've also handled basically the same situation, doing the same, um, I guess, same style of taking care of the situation, and it backfire on me. Things can go very wrong. You've got to understand that just because you think that, well, that situation worked on this case, I'm going to use the same circumstances for another case, but it could be totally different. I find it best to kind of go through stages before I determine on how I'm going to handle the situation. I try to find out as much information. You know, if it's a house that is haunted, or some kind of entity or spirit that is there, I try to find out a little bit more background about the house, especially if that person has not been in that house their whole life. They moved in it from where somebody else had lived there. Try to find out a little bit about the neighborhood around it. If anybody had died in that area, if anybody had died in that house, if there has been any other activity from other people that they have noticed or seen. Try to get as much knowledge as you can. And then the second phase I do, once I learn a little bit about the situation, I'll try to communicate with the spirit. We'll go in and investigate it, see if we can't find out a little bit more about what entity is there, whether it's positive or negative. Learn about it. That helps us better judge the situation It helps us determine on which path to go, because you really want to not get into the wrong situation. Trust me, been there. It can get to be very scary. You can get hurt. I know for a fact because I have gotten into those type of situations before. Makes me kind of wonder sometimes on why I'm doing this, but if I'm able to help a family or someone that has something going on in their life, that's what I want to do. That's kind of my calling. Uh, that and being able to learn more. Uh, a lot of, well, there's a lot of things, or people, they're always saying, uh, they say that spirits aren't real, demons aren't real. Possibly so. And I have a lot of people ask me, why would a spirit or a person that had died, passed away, why would they stay in a cemetery? Why do they stay in cemeteries? They don't necessarily stay in cemeteries. They don't necessarily stay in a home. Uh, my opinion is, when you pass on, a lot of times you don't know that you are dead, so you're kind of a lost soul. You're still what we call residual energy or residual spirit. They're basically still living their lives. They don't know that they're gone to the other side. And, those, they're hard to communicate because they really don't see us. They're kind of basically still living their lives. As to where an intelligent spirit is more aware that they have passed on, and it could be that they're still here because they have unfinished business that they need to take care of, or they prefer to stay behind, be with family members, possibly to watch over them, protect them. I do believe that some spirits choose to be where their bodies are put to rest. I do believe that some spirits choose to be in the spot or around the spot where they have passed away, whether it's from an accident or something tragic that has happened. I also believe that, when you pass away, a lot of believers, religion, they all say, well, when you die, you go to heaven. I do believe that is true for a lot, and I believe that some of them stay behind. And I also believe, they say, well, if you go to heaven, then how come you're back, I still see you here? Well, I believe that you can go to heaven, but you can travel back and forth through the realm, to be able to still come back and watch over family or be around family. I can't say this is actual fact because nobody really knows. This is just my belief, my opinions. And of course, there'll be a lot of people out there that totally disagree, which is fine. I expect that. And I hope people do have other opinions or the way they believe things. And if you do, I sure would like to know how you feel or what you believe, because, it could change my mind on a few things. Give me a little bit more knowledge or something I may need to look at a little bit more in depth too. But these are some of the things that I'm seeing. But I hate it when I see people that are actually having things happen to them that are reaching out for answers or help, and you have negative or non-believers, skeptics that they want to cut you down, tell you that, oh, it's all make-believe, you don't know what you're talking about, or, it's all fake. To those people, I would say, that's fine. You have your own opinion, your own beliefs, that you don't believe in it. But I would say also to them that take yourself out with a paranormal team. Go out to a haunted place and see firsthand for yourself that things do happen. you know, that you can't explain. Nobody really can explain. We just see it happen, and we know that it happened, and we're trying to understand why or how it is happening, but I don't believe anybody will ever really know. You know, we can assume, we can speculate or have our own opinions of why it's happening, but we really don't know. But to those non-believers, you know, if you have something happen to you, whether it's positive, negative, you know, I prefer you have negative because I don't want to wish anything bad on anybody, because it's something that can be very harmful. But go with the team, go see some negative responses of positive spirits that do things for you. It's amazing when something happens. It's even more amazing when you're able to catch it on video. A lot of times you don't. It's hard to catch it because the spirits are not going to cooperate with us. They're not going to do what we're asking. Some will, but the majority of them, they won't. They're like playing games with us. Because we're over here videoing in this area, watching here, trying to get a response to a question or have them do something for us. They may be back behind us doing something that we're not catching on camera. And it's the same for, like I probably said in the beginning, I have that ability to be able to see and hear spirits. A lot of times I will hear voices around me. You know, that's something occasionally you can catch on camera. It'll come through, but the majority of the time it doesn't. But I am hearing them, or sounds, or being able to see either an apparition or a shadow figure, as to where some of the other team that's with me was not able to see it. You know, can't explain it, why it happens or how it happens, but it does. Sounds that you hear, like noises, you know that you're hearing them. It sounds like somebody's walking behind you or running towards you. If somebody touches you or pushes you, you know, a lot of times we're not catching it on video, but we try to explain what's happening around us, even though it's not getting caught on video. We try to explain things that happen so the viewers can be aware that there are things happening. And like I say, of course, a lot of people are going to say, you're just making it up. You know, possibly there are some groups out there that are doing that just to make their videos interesting for viewers to watch, because most of the viewers, they want to see videos of stuff that happens. You know, I do have some stuff that happens in my videos, and then I have some videos that not a whole lot happens. I do more in the line of not going to places that are known to be haunted, because you see so many videos out there from different teams that have been there, and like I say, they're pretty much the same, even though each group may have some different type of experience through it. They could be still dealing with the same excuse me, same spirit, but the spirit interacts with them differently. A lot of the videos I do, I prefer to go to places that have not been investigated. Mostly I have been doing like cemeteries that you know, nobody's been to or nobody's even heard of. Some of them I get responses and some activity from, others I don't. I find out in a lot of them that I go to the first time or second time or third time, I do pick up on the energy there, that there is something there. I do hear sounds, voices, and I do get the perception that we are being watched and followed. And I believe this to be because they do not know who we are. We're coming into their home. They're not sure what we are doing, and depending on how long ago they passed away, they've probably never seen any of the equipment that we use today. They're not familiar with it, so they're pretty scared or unsure of what they're doing. So they're kind of watching us from a distance. And I feel after a while of going back repeated times and learning who we are, seeing us over and over, and seeing us use the equipment, and seeing that it's not harming them anyway, or we are not trying to disrespect them. We're more or less coming in peace. We're just coming there to try to communicate with them, gather evidence on the facts that spirits are real. There is life after death. That's pretty much why I'm doing this. I'm also out to help other families that do have situations on, to be able to help them. A lot of people say, well, your videos are kind of slow, boring. I watch about 10 minutes of it and then I shut it off because nothing happens. A lot of the videos I do, you're going to find that. But I also tell people, just put yourself in a situation, or even go to a cemetery at nighttime and just walk around. Well, I don't know what happened there. My camera shut off. My battery went dead, I believe. So I had to put a new battery in there. As I was saying, I would encourage those non-believers to go with a paranormal team on an investigation, being able to see things happen firsthand, or take yourself to a cemetery or possibly a abandoned place or a house that looks kind of real spooky. I'm not saying that anything will happen, but while you're there, just keep an open mind, listen for sounds around you, constantly look around, seeing if you could possibly catch something out of the corner of your eye, like a shadow figure or some type of movements. It does help, a non-believer or a skeptic, if they are able to witness something like this. It does change their mind a little bit, especially because they're at that point, they cannot explain it either. So, don't just, I guess, be critic to people that have had things happen. Be more compassionate. Understand that there are things out there that do happen, just because you do not believe them or not. A lot of these people are scared, and the negative opinions, it doesn't help them at all. So I ask that you please, be a little more considerate to those. That pretty much wraps up this video here. I just wanted to kind of talk about some of these things that are happening, and things that I'm seeing and noticing, and possibly it gives those viewers out there a little more information, a little more being able to understand possibly why things are happening to them, or being able to understand other people's situations. If you're not in one of the paranormal groups, I suggest you join one, because there is a lot of good content there. There's a lot of good stories there. There is some that, it's I don't know, I guess maybe they're just out for attention. It's hard to say whether a lot of it is real or just made up in the photos or the videos. A lot of it's hard to actually say that it is real, or whether it was staged or planned or manipulated somehow. You really don't know. I've seen a lot of them out there. There are a lot of them that I do believe that they are real. There are a lot of them out there that I can see things here and there that kind of discredits it. The best way to be able to know for sure is to actually be there at the place when it does happen. So I hope you watch this video all the way through. Be sure to go to our channel, watch some of our videos. Like I say, some of them are kind of slow and boring, but I make it as if you were there with us. I'm not saying that we all the time have things happen, but we do have a lot come through on our spirit boxes. I always ask the viewers to listen and give me their opinion. Comment, let me know what they hear, if they are hearing any answers to any of the questions. Because a lot of times we miss it. We're not picking up on it where somebody else that listened to it say, hey, I heard this. Let us know. Become a subscriber to our channel. Hit that share. Share it with everybody you know. Hit that like if you do like our videos. We don't only do paranormal videos. We're also doing historical videos of different places that we go to. It's more in lines of education, learning the history, excuse me, on places. The earlier pioneers, the ones that started communities, how they lived, some of the things they used back in those times, whether they were tools or some of the old furniture, the old clothing they wore. It's real interesting and knowledgeable to learn a lot of history, especially around your communities. Until our next video, we'll see you on our adventures.